Greyhound follows Commander Ernest Krause, a first-time captain of a U.S. Navy destroyer leading an Allied convoy across the Atlantic during World War II. His mission is to protect dozens of ships carrying vital supplies while being hunted by German U-boats. Krause operates in an environment defined by uncertainty, limited information, and constant threat. Unlike traditional leadership environments, he must make rapid decisions with incomplete data, where mistakes immediately result in a loss of life. Key events shaping his leadership. First, combat with no prior battle experience, continuous U-boat attacks over multiple days without rest, managing crew fatigue, fear, morale, and everything under pressure, making life or death tactical decisions really fast in real time, which makes Krause an ideal case to analyze leadership across self, others, organizations, and systems under extreme conditions. Greyhound Commander Krause demonstrates a combination of task-oriented leadership, precision, and discipline. Servant leadership, prioritizing convoy and crew safety, high emotional intelligence and emotional control under pressure. Krause demonstrates strength is calm composure under pressure, even during sustained attacks. He maintains a calm tone and clear communication, which stabilizes the crew. He also demonstrates strong decision-making ability, high accountability, which he takes responsibility for the outcomes, and deep sense of duty and moral responsibility. Some of Krause's setbacks include over-reliance on duty, which leads to a neglect of his own personal well-being, emotional suppression, which leads up to internal stress, and limited delegation early on. He rarely rests, eats, or disconnects, which shows poor self-care despite strong discipline. Some of his core values include duty, responsibility, protection of others, and faith and personal ethics. His leadership is strongly guided by moral conviction rather than ego or power. Some of key examples would be initial convoy escort. He establishes authority through clarity and precision and demonstrates structured leadership. Another would be U-attack response. He remains calm while issuing rapid commands, which leads to emotional intelligence under extreme stress. And final confrontation, he aggressively engages enemy submarines to protect convoy. Mission first, leadership after. Commander Krause demonstrates strong self-regulation. He controls fear, avoids panic, and maintains focus across prolonged stress. He uses discipline, routine, and faith and internal dialogue as resilient strategies. Effectiveness, highly effective in maintaining operational control, however not sustainable. Physical, which leads to a lot of physical and mental exhaustion. This reflects key leadership limitations. Performance is high, but personal sustainability is low. When it comes to leading others, source of influence comes from expertise, consistency, and moral authorities, not chasing charisma or emotional connection. He motivates himself through clarity of mission, consistent leadership behavior, and confidence under pressure. Unlike charismatic leaders, he does not rely on speeches. His actions alone create trust. Some of his conflict management is his conflict is minimal because rules are clearly defined, orders are precise, and authority is respected. However, this also limits open dialogue and feedback. Some trust building is built through reliability, competence, and predictability. The crew trusts the commander because he does not panic and consistently makes rational decisions. Equity, diversity, inclusion. Krause treats crew members fairly and equally within the military hierarchy. However, the environment is rigid. Limited flexibility for inclusive leadership practices. This reflects contextual constraints of leadership, not necessarily failure. Leading organizations and systems vision. Krause's vision is clear, protects convoy, minimizes losses, and complete missions. This aligns with strategic leadership theory. Clarity derives performance. Culture. He builds a culture of discipline, precision, and accountability. This culture allows the ship to function efficiently under extreme stress. Change management. Krause continuously adapts change tactics based on the sonar slash radar info, adjusts his positioning and attack strategy. Changes occur at tactical level, which means real-time decision, or team level, crew coordination. Overall effectiveness, Krause is a highly effective operational leader. He succeeds in maintaining control under uncertainty, protecting majority of convoy, and leading without breakdown. However, his leadership is heavily task-focused over people-focused. Sustainability and emotional connections are limited. Krause. One of the lessons learned through Krause's leadership would be calm leadership under pressure stabilizes teams. Krause's composure directly influences crew performance. In organizations, leaders who remain calm during crisis improve team outcomes. Emotional contagion affects performance. Number 2, consistency builds through more than charisma. Krause is not inspirational in a traditional sense. Yeah, he is highly respected. In workplaces, predictable, competent leaders build stronger long-term trust than charismatic ones. Lesson number 3. Leadership must balance performance with sustainability. Krause achieves results but at personal cost. In organization, burnt-out reduces long-term effectiveness. Leaders must engage both performance and well-being. Through Krause's leadership. Commander Ernest Krause represents leadership under extreme pressure, where decisions must be made quickly with limited information, and where every choice carries immediate consequences. His leadership is defined by discipline, composure, and a deep sense of duty, which allows him to guide his crew through sustained uncertainty and danger. Throughout the film, Krause demonstrates that effective leadership is not always loud, charismatic, or emotionally expressive. Instead, it can be quiet, consistent, and rooted in reliability. His ability to remain calm under pressure stabilizes the entire system around him, shows how a leader's internal state directly influences team performance and outcomes. At the same time, his leadership reveals reveals important limitations. Krause sacrifices his own well-being in order to maintain control and fulfill his responsibilities. This highlights a critical tension in leadership, achieving results versus sustaining the leader and the team over time. While his approach is effective in short term, it raises questions about the long-term sustainability and the human cost of leadership in high-stake environments. From a broader leadership perspective, Krause's journey illustrates that leadership is situational. In a highly structured, high-risk environment like military operations, task-oriented leadership and strict discipline is necessary. However, in modern organizational contexts, leaders must go further by integrating emotional awareness, collaboration, and sustainable practices. Ultimately, Krause shows that leadership effectiveness is built on 3 core elements: clarity of purpose, consistency in action, and the responsibility of others. His example reinforces that leadership is not defined by authority alone, but by the ability to guide others through uncertainty while maintaining trust and direction. In conclusion, Greyhound demonstrates that strong leadership is not just about making the right decision, but about how those decisions are made and how they're communicated and how they impact people. Krause's leadership leaves us with a key insight. The best leaders are those who can perform under pressure while still recognizing the human limits of themselves and those they lead. Thank you.